Hello.
Hello, Brendon. How are you?
Hi, Wendy. I'm good. How are you doing?
Excellent. I think
Awesome.
though you might be doing better than me because well this
Oh,
this
really?
whole thing just like blew up, man. You've got this new album is announced and everything is officially on the road. And I know artists
Yeah.
work so hard to put an album together, and then finally like when the title's released, the
Yeah.
video comes out, all that. It's just like such a rush. So tell me where your head's at right now.
Yeah. I don't even know when I had that. It's pretty crazy. It's always a surreal feeling when you release your stuff. You've been working on it for so long inside your own head for the last year and a half. Finally, we get a tour with it. I'm so excited that it's finally out today. It's crazy. I don't even know if it's hit me yet.
You'll probably have about 15 more conversations like this and then be like, "Oh yeah, this is real. This
Oh,
is real."
yeah. This isn't a
so
dream. Yeah.
you've got the new album, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, throwback to
Yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson. Nicely done.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are originally from Vegas. But I
We
read
are.
somewhere that like when you were younger, you weren't really feeling it, but now you've just kind of fallen back in love with the hometown.
Yeah, definitely. Well, when we were starting the band, we were 16, 17 years old, and at that age, you can't really do anything. You can't really play shows anywhere because all the clubs are 21 and over. All the metal music didn't really fit with our band, so we didn't have a lot of peers in that category. When we were trying to play shows and stuff, so it kind of sucked. We were a little bit bitter and we were pretty angsty teenagers and hormonal still, so we were pretty whiny about it. And but this time around, as we're older, I think I've realized just a different take on it. I've kind of dropped a lot of the cynicism, and a few nights I spent out in Vegas with my family who all still live here, and it was just a beautiful thing to kind of realize that it's a town where people go to forget about their problems and drop the cynicism and have a good time and let loose and feel free. So that dictated a lot of what the record sounds like.
And it is one of those few places. Like, I grew up in Atlanta, and there is something
Yeah,
like after a while, I think you have to leave to come back. You know what I'm saying?
I,
Like, and to
yeah,
to
totally.
to
I
get it.
agree.
And
Yeah,
Vegas is one of those places. New York, L.A.
for sure.
There's very few of them that people. It's
Yeah,
it's a destination, and it's a
yeah,
mindset.
yes.
And I've noticed with bands like the Killers, like there's something in the psyche of Vegas bands I have noticed,
Hmm.
and I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, is there some way that you feel like you can personify it? Because you guys are definitely that as well. There's something in that psyche that Vegas speaks to them and inspires them.
Yeah, Vegas to me she's a cool mistress, but you can't drop her. She's just kind of a bad habit that like a cigarette or something. I just keep coming back, but every time I come back, it's better and better, and I find something new that I love about it. It's just now to me, Vegas is home as well as a party town. I never got to experience that before, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty great.
well, and also that's kind of funny that you kind of put it that way because lyrically that kind of comes back to the song that debuted today, Miss Jackson.
Yeah,
So like Vegas is kind of Miss Jackson, I guess, but also
yeah.
is that a true story?
It was, yeah. It's based off of something that I went through, just kind of from the page of my diary. Not that I keep one, but it was, yeah. It's personal experience. It was definitely about someone her name wasn't Miss Jackson, but at the time, that Janet Jackson's song Miss Jackson, If You're Nasty, it was so iconic.
Oh yeah.
I thought it fit so well, but yeah, it fits in the same vein of what we were talking about with the hometowns.
And it's funny because when somebody told me, oh, well, the song's called Miss Jackson, my first thought, and that song is old, man. My first thought was,
Yeah,
it's Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Like immediately, like it's ingrained in your
yeah.
head. Everybody knows it. So it's kind of cool that you guys like picked that up and ran with it and made it your own.
Yeah,
But
it just made it more fun for me,
oh,
to kind of just
totally.
connect, but then also have a connection with it. Yeah.
Now, with this new album, you guys are back with Butch Walker as well, the same guy that did
Yes.
Vices and Virtues, Atlanta
Hmm.
Boy.
Yeah.
And now tell me how this one is different, though, even though you guys are back. Does it feel completely different than Vices and Virtues?
Yeah, definitely. To me, it does. This time around, actually, Butch was, I've learned a lot, especially from the last record to this one. Butch Walker and Jake Sinclair both taught me so much about producing. And so before even went into the studio, I had made these demos, and Butch, was telling me, that we didn't need to change anything. I was like, well, I'd like to re-record some drums. I didn't really, get the certain aspects of the record that I wanted to re-record. And he was like, well, I don't think we should. So a lot of them kind of stayed true to the demo, which I was, it kind of validated me. For me, it was validating to hear from Butch and Jake, who were both producers, amazing producers, and to have them, kind of give me that compliment. It was huge for me to have these songs be as close to the demos as I thought they were going to be. It was really surprising. But, I guess that's how it was different. Butch kind of let me take the reins on this one, and I definitely had a vision. So he saw that, and he kind of sat back and guided me as a mentor.
Very cool. So this one, while it is definitely Butch Walker, you would say it's a little bit more you too, right?
Yeah. He definitely let me kind of take control in that regard. He still would, when he would hand me an instrument, he would point me in a direction, and then I would just run with it. But that was really all he wanted to do. And he's still just the most amazing songwriter. I wanted him to be a part of it as much as possible, but he also is being so modest. He wanted me to do as much as I could, without me just sitting back and being like, well, do something because you're amazing, Butch. So
yeah, that guy is a gem. And like I said, growing up in Atlanta, he was everywhere. I remember his bands, like going to see them when they were locals, and they were amazing. And he's just always been such a level-headed, talented guy. He's just so easy to work with. So that was I was glad to see you guys went back with him, and and Fall Out Boy doing the same. And then you guys are on tour together. This is like it's a match made in heaven. And it's also going to be a terror, right? You guys are going.
It's so nice. I missed them. I missed my boys. Yeah, it was great. It was really nice that they were, willing to take us back out on tour. Because we had talked about it for the past few years, whether or not that was going to happen, we didn't know. But it's nice to have those little dreams. Like, hey, it'd be nice to tour again. And we would just talk about it, dinners or whatever. And finally, it's here.
It's
happening.
The schedule's just never synced up before, and now it's clicked, right?
No, it has. Yeah, I'm so glad. And their record's great too. So it's going to be such a fun tour.
And speaking of Fall Out Boy, kind of brings me to the Miss Jackson video, which, by the way, I watched, and I was like, this is shades of Fall Out Boy's Youngblood series all over again. Is this going to be a series, or is that just like a one-off, like crazy story in that video?
Yeah, the story is its own thing, but I think that type of David Lynch feel could continue in videos to come. So we'll see. We've talked about a couple more concepts for other songs, but nothing's tied down yet. So
sweet.
Nice to figure out some stuff though.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, oh, this is so dark and weird, and let me watch it again.
Awesome.
So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sure that's exactly what you guys were gunning for, and like I said, I love the way it all pieced together and everything. I like a good concept video, that gives you a storyline that you're not expecting, and I think you guys really packaged it well on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
I guess we'll wrap it up here, and we'll see you guys August 3rd. You're playing our Radio 104.5 Summer Block Party. We did one last weekend, and I gotta tell you, we were like, come back next month. We're gonna have Panic at the Disco. Place erupted, and I was like, okay, so
awesome.
they're pretty hype on that.
So good.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be.
We are so excited.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys did one of our birthday shows a while back and absolutely tore it apart, and so we are really glad to have you back on one of our shows again. It's gonna be huge. So I guess we'll see you August 3rd.
Yeah, sounds so good.
Okay, we appreciate it. Take care, and we'll